Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Scott Bradley from BrilliantBusinessAdvice.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to know about navigating your Google Analytics to get insights and intelligence about what's happening on your website so that you can use that information to help grow your site, grow your traffic, and obviously grow your bottom line. In this video, I'm going to assume that you are probably either a blogger or another type of website owner, and that you have already installed Google Analytics on your site, and you're really watching this video right now to figure out what other insights can I pull from looking at my data. So I'm basically going to spend the entire time in this video walking through the key things that I do for all of my websites right here. We're going to go through my scottbradley.name website, which is my main personal branding site. In my analytics, and it's going to help you kind of understand how you can use the same type of thinking in ripping apart your analytics to gain good insights. So starting off, this is basically the main screen that you log into when you get into your Google Analytics, and as you can see, it's basically I have the traffic set from May 1st to May 31st of 2012, and it pretty much is showing that I'm generating anywhere from about 221 visits to 150, 160, 70 per day. So this is going to be a really great data set to rip into, and I'm excited to show you kind of how I'm thinking and how you can take that and model it for what you're doing with your site. So when I first come in here, the first thing that I look at specifically are just the overview information for the month. So as you can see, I did about 5,500 visits per month, unique visitors 4,900, and page views of 6,600, bringing an average pages per visit 1.19 pages per visitor. Now, if you don't understand the difference between visits, unique visitors, or page views, let me just explain that real quick. A visitor is anyone, say for instance there's Joe, and Joe comes to your site on May 5th, but he also comes to your site on May 10th. That would count as 2 total visits. A unique visitor, in the same case with Joe, since he came in on the 5th and he came in on the 10th, he still only counts as 1 unique visitor, even though he visited the site twice. Now, page views, on the other hand, is basically calculating the amount of pages that loaded for your site in that particular month for all the visitors that came into your site. So, that's a key differentiator that you need to understand and key metric that you need to understand when looking at these analytics to understand the bigger picture. As you can see, my average duration for my visit is not very high. Typically, a great benchmark to kind of go towards is around 1 to 2 minutes or more. But then again, that totally depends on your site, the type of business that you're in, and what your ideal goal for your site is. Bounce rate obviously is a little higher than I would like, but it's right now at 90%. Now, if you don't know what bounce rate is, basically what this metric is telling me is that for every 100 visitors that come into my site via whatever page that they come into, 90 out of every 100 do not click into another page in my site. So for example, say I go to google.com and I type it in the address bar and I don't put a search thing in and I don't press the search button and I click off. That would count as a bounce. But if I put something into the search bar, press search, that would count as an engaged visitor. So, that's kind of what you need to do to understand the way the visits are for bounce rate. Now, new visits, obviously, so 88% of my visits coming to my site every month are brand new visitors. So it's a really interesting kind of breakdown initially when I look into this. So aside from taking all that into account for the month, the next thing that I look at and kind of start ripping into is, as I look at these analytics, I want to say, where exactly is my traffic coming from? What traffic sources? So as you can see here in the top left-hand corner, there's traffic sources. So what you want to do is you want to click that. And then I first look at the overview specifically. So as you can see here, 88% of my traffic coming to my site primarily is from search engines, which is really great, which means my site is really optimized from an SEO perspective. 5% from referral traffic, 6.38% from direct, and 5% from other campaigns. So again, just from terminology standpoint, referral traffic is basically if you have, oh, I'm sorry, my clock goes off. I'll mute that. So referral traffic is basically if you had links on another website, people are clicking those links on other websites to get to your site. And direct traffic is primarily people putting in your web address, so people going to their browser and typing in scottbradley.name. So pretty much this site is running on autopilot right now from a search engine standpoint, and that's why I'm doing about 4,900 visits per month just from SEO. Aside from doing that, I then say, okay, well, what exactly is driving the traffic from an SEO and a referral standpoint? So then I look down here and I see, okay, keywords. So these are the main keywords that are driving all of my search engine traffic. And then if I look here under referral traffic, I can click source, and then it's showing the other sources of traffic that are driving back into my site. Now what's great about this is you can actually, let's go back up to the keywords for a second. You can actually drill down into each keyword to see what's the behavior of a person that is coming to my site for that keyword. And the best way to do that is to come down to full report and click it. So at this point, as you can see, here's all the search engine traffic coming up here, kind of some general analytics for my search traffic. So as you can see, it kind of drills down deeper. My average visit duration is about 31 seconds. 89% of the traffic's all new visits, and my bounce rate for search traffic is 91%. So there's obviously some optimizing that I need to think about and do and look at that I haven't done. But coming down here, what you're going to notice is all of the keywords that drove traffic into my site. And you're going to notice this big not provided thing here. And this is something that's happened in the past 6 to 8 months with Google changing up how they report the search data from their users. And from my understanding, the not provided basically means that these are all searches that have been done in Google and they've clicked into my site while the user is logged in. And we do not have access to that. So we can only guess what that is. So that's what that not provided means. It's basically showing the visits that have been generated by someone being logged into their Google account as they are searching for stuff. But kind of diving deeper here, I can see, friend request message is one of the keywords. What is an effective status update on Facebook? Chick-fil-A franchise, etc. And what I like to really do here is look at my pages per visit for each keyword, my average duration, and what's the bounce rate. So like what I like to do is I say, okay, friend request message, I get about 87 visits per month for this keyword, 1.1 pages per visit, 20 seconds, bounce rate, visits, bounce rate. You kind of get a feel for how people are finding your site. And why I think this is really valuable as a website owner for you to take into account is because you are able to kind of see how is the front end of your marketing working in attracting the right people. Necessarily, do I really want a lot of people to be coming in via Chick-fil-A franchise? Not necessarily, but I do know one article that they are going to is about something that I wrote for Chick-fil-A, in that I went to a Chick-fil-A meeting to see how they recruited their franchise owners, and I wrote an article kind of sharing some information about what I learned and how I can apply that to my business. So what's cool about this is you can click in, let's just do that Chick-fil-A franchise, and you can see here kind of the breakdown of how many visits I got last month during the month of May. And I was getting anywhere from 0 to 6 visits a day from that keyword search. Now what's really cool is that I also like to dive deeper to say, okay, what posts are these keywords driving? And what I like to do here is click this secondary dimension, and you're going to click visitors. Nope, not visitors, sorry. I'm going to click traffic sources. Sorry, a little foggy here this morning. And I'm going to click landing page. So, as you can see here, this keyword is primarily driving the majority of the traffic to Chick-fil-A franchise opportunity meeting. So let me just show you how that shows. Let's see, Google Chick-fil-A franchise. So there's my article right there. Third listing from the top, Chick-fil-A opportunity meeting. So when you click that, let's just click it right now, it comes right to my article talking about my experience at Chick-fil-A, the meeting, kind of what I learned, what I took away from it, and it's been very valuable. So it's really optimized well. So that gives you an idea of, okay, what keywords are driving what traffic to what pages. And again, that's for all your SEO and your optimization to think, okay, this is how my traffic is flowing, primarily from search engines. So after doing that, I like to, again, go back to kind of overview, which is the top, if you can imagine it. And, this is all the keyword traffic. Now I'm going to think about referral sources. As you can see, I'm getting about 306 visits from my referral traffic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do referral traffic source. And it's breaking down all of the places that I'm getting traffic from. So my biggest question here is, okay, so what sources are driving the traffic to what pages in my site? Because, where the keywords were saying, what posts are being optimized in the search engines, you now want to know, okay, what places where you have links are driving the traffic and what posts are they landing on. And again, that also helps you figure out what is interesting to people, what is the market talking about, etc. So let's just go into Facebook since that's the biggest one. And as you can see, my traffic from Facebook is, relatively consistent, I guess, from 1 to 2 visits. There's a nice little spike here for 24 visits. And that kind of is a data point that I would want to figure out down the road as I'm going through these analytics. But right now, we're going to put that aside, and I'm going to look at to say what posts are generating traffic from Facebook. Sorry about that. My house phone's ringing for all these disruptions. So what I'm going to now think about is what posts are being driven. So I'm going to click secondary dimension, traffic sources, and I'm going to go again landing page. So here. Now this is basically showing all of the posts that are driving traffic into it. So as you can see here, the majority of the traffic that's coming from Facebook is primarily landing on my homepage. And the second one is how to reach your prospects and customers effectively. So this is the infographic. Let me just show you what that is on my site. Here, it's right here, how to reach your prospects and customers effectively. So when you click on that, it's an infographic that I created. So that's interesting. And then everything else is kind of not a whatever type, how to get more followers on Google, how to position your product, what to say in personal messages, etc. But basically, the big aha for me is, okay, well, a lot of the traffic coming from Facebook is landing on my home page. And as you can see here, it's almost 2 pages per visit, average duration of about 30 seconds, and a bounce rate of 60%. So what that means is 40 out of every 100 visitors are clicking through to something more after they hit my home page. So that's a really interesting, let's go back here and say, okay, we want referral source, Facebook. All right. Oh no, let's go back here. Let's see the Fastlane forum. This is a nice forum that I like to go to. So I posted that there, this great little traffic spike. Didn't really create any more momentum other than those 2 days. But again, let's see what was driving the traffic. Do traffic sources, landing page, boom. All right. How to reach your prospects and customers. So I posted that infographic in that forum, generated 47 visits, and the average duration was 13 seconds, bounce rate of 80%. So what you're really getting in breaking your stuff down like this is you're really fully understanding where should I spend more of my time and what is actually effective in getting me what I want with my site. Because what's beautiful about this, and we're going to go into the content section next and kind of how I think about the content of the intelligent stuff that I can create from that, is you're able to see what's the direct result from your activities that you're doing on the front end. Because as you know, as a business owner or a website owner, your direct activities are going to impact what happens on your site. So this is helping you rip certain things apart, get a better understanding of what's happening on your site, and then being able to take that information in to modify what you're doing on your front-end marketing activities to be more effective in generating more leads, closing more sales, getting more traffic, building more links, etc. So that's kind of like the traffic source type stuff that I like to look into in detail, to kind of rip things apart and figure out, okay, here's what's happening, here's where my traffic is coming in, and here's where the traffic is landing. And on that note, one real interesting thing that I like to also look into, let me just, let's see here. All right, I think it's in content. Yeah, we'll get there. When I find it, I will, let's see, search, all traffic, direct response search, organic, paid. All right. I don't know why I can't find it right now, but I will. All right, so the next thing I look at specifically is, okay, I have all this traffic coming in from all of these different sources, whether it's search engines or referrals or direct traffic. And I now want to see where's the majority of the traffic hitting and what content is the most popular. So again, as I click over content, overview, here I'm going to see all the pages that are the most popular for the month of May 1st to May 31st from my traffic. So as you can see, that Chick-fil-A article is massively popular. The what to say in personal messages when sending a Facebook friend request is really popular. My article on how to get more followers on Google Plus is popular, and my homepage is really popular. So where my mind is going as I look at this is, okay, wait a second. I want to break down deeper into how are people finding these individual pieces of content and why are they so popular. And then we're going to take it one step further to say, okay, now that they're coming to this post, what are they doing next and where are they going next on my website? And again, that's going to give you more of a greater understanding of what people are doing once they get to your website. So since we did the Chick-fil-A one recently, let's do the personal messages when sending Facebook friend requests. So this is some really interesting data. As you can see here, I did about 1,400 or so page views of that article last month in the month of May, with 1,300 total unique visitors, with an average time on the page of 2 minutes 22 seconds, which means that whatever traffic is being driven into this and how it's being driven into it is really, really targeted. Because even though the exit is high and the bounce rate is high, people are getting what they need to get from this article. So that's really a great thing to know. And where my mind's also going is, okay, well, if I'm getting 1,400 page views on that article a month, how else can I monetize just that one article and that one blog post, whether I'm going to be promoting, whether it's an affiliate product or sell my own product or whatever, that's really interesting. But now, kind of taking it a step further, as you know, you can click secondary dimensions and you can go, traffic sources. Let's just see the keywords being driven. So again, this is isolating the page and saying what keywords are driving traffic to that page. As you can see, we got a lot not provided, it's a lot of not sets, and again, that's the reason because people are searching when they're logged into their Google account. But other than that, you got friend request message, how to get someone to accept your friend request message, friendship request sample, friend request messages. So, and what's great about these keywords is it's also breaking down how much time, what are the keywords that are the real money keywords. So, friendship request messages, it's a 51 second average, time on the page. Friend request message sample, 35 seconds. And then you can also look at the bounce rates and the exits of, okay, wait a second, is this leverageable traffic that I can push somewhere else, quite possibly, whether it's on my site or to a product or, whatever it is that works for you. So another thing I want to show you that's really interesting is that you want to understand once people actually come to the page, then where do they go next? And what is their visit? So like as you can see, I'm getting maybe, let's go back to, let's press the back button here. As you can see, I'm getting a bounce rate of 91%. I want to know, for every 100 visitors, where are those other 8 visitors going that are clicking into the next page? Well, what's really great is Google Analytics makes it really easy to figure that out. So what you're going to do up here is click Navigation Summary. Click that. And the way to read this report, it's really quite simple. And if you can imagine here, you have the page in the middle, which is really what's being isolated. And it's showing you where are the people coming from in order to get to this page. And then once they're at this page, where are they going next? So again, This is where they started. You know, as you can see, the majority of the people that are coming to this page are coming in probably from the SEO, which is showing the 1,300 pages, which is really 99% of the traffic. But you know, as you can see, they are coming from other sources here. But you know, it's coming in, and then let's see. So when they're here, the next article that they like to click on is, "Are you making the simple but common Facebook friend requesting sin?" You know, 7 of them, you know, went to the home page. Another went to increase sales. Other went to contact. And you really kind of can see, how is my traffic flowing from the certain entry points that are coming into it. So as you saw in the beginning, my major entry points into my site primarily are my Chick-fil-A franchise opportunity meeting, what to say, how to get more followers, my homepage. I'm curious, let's look at my homepage here real quick. So again, here's kind of the traffic flow. Page views, average time on my homepage is pretty high, which is good, and a 62% bounce rate. So that means that when people hit my homepage, only 62 out of every 100 visitors actually click off after seeing it. But that means like 48 of those people are clicking into. So I want to know, what are those people clicking into on a deeper level. So again, we're going to click on navigation summary. Oh, interesting. So I know a lot of people are clicking over to my testimonials page. So that page is typically, assuming that we're on my home page, they're basically coming in and saying, "Oh, testimonials. What's, you know, Scott's testimonials here?" So I have one from Diane Kennedy, from one of my past clients, Berlin Natural Bakery, all this stuff. So people are reading that. And my thought is, you know, what's the behavior on that page? Are they reading in detail, or are they reading it very quickly? If you know, another one, how to reach your prospects in infographics. So they're also clicking this this page right here, which is really good to know that I put that there. Contact, recommended tools. So what this is telling me is, when people come into my homepage, a lot of them are clicking these actual tabs that I've put here. So it's good that I've put them there. But let's see deeper. You know, how to create a social media strategy for companies who already have a customer base. You know, very few coming in for Chick-fil-A, and all that good stuff. So, you know, this is really a valuable tool, because you're able to see the traffic flow for the certain types of visitors and where they're coming from. And in doing that, you'll be able to intelligently make a decision of, okay, should I put more time into link building and SEO for certain blog posts, or should I do more link building and SEO for my homepage? And if so, it leads you to coming up with those decisions that are going to actually directly impact your business from a traffic, links, sales standpoint. Now, I just found exactly what I was looking for previously when I got a little fumbled there. It's this visitor flow. And this is a new tool that they launched when they relaunched Google Analytics. Let me close this here real quick. So what you want to do is click visitor flow. And this is really interesting because it shows exactly how the majority of your visitors flow through your site. So what I like to do here is, I like to move it over all the way to the edge, and in the bottom, extend my browser bigger so I can see how it flows. And if you can look, there's more different interactions and generations. So, you know, basically it's breaking down the traffic from the location it's happening, and even more so where it's hitting, and then showing the behavior from primarily of where it's hitting. So in the United States, Chick-fil-A, what to say in the friend request, how to get more followers on Google+, you know, how to create a Twitter list. So it's showing from the United States where the majority of it's flowing, and then at that point, it shows you the next pages that it's flowing to. So again, this is just probably a more graphical representation of what I was showing you previously, but it's in a way that you can understand it more. So say I click on this, you know, highest traffic through here, explore the traffic through here, group details, you know, you can start drilling down deeper and deeper and deeper, and get more insights and analytics to, you know, what you need to know to make these, you know, important decisions for your site, which are really, really great. And pretty much that is it for a simple tutorial, kind of walking you through the Google Analytic platform. And, you know, a couple other things, you know, you got behavior, new versus returning. You know, I have about a 80-10 split, or 88-10 split of like new visitors versus returning visitors. frequency and recency. This kind of shows you count of visits, page views, kind of how deep people dive into your site. Engagement is another one, depending on, again, this is all going to depend on what you need to focus on, but I was really just showing you, kind of walking things through really in a simple way, what I like to focus on and what you're going to find value in as a blogger and or website owner in order to be the most effective in the use of your time. Now lastly, one of the things I also like to pay attention to is how mobile devices are impacting my site and what's happening for the mobile market. So as you can see here, I have 4,400 who don't use mobile devices that hit my site, but I also have 1,100. So what's interesting is looking at the difference from how does the mobile device impact my site versus someone that accesses it from a normal computer with an internet connection. And what's interesting is that obviously through the mobile device it's less pages per visit, but look at the average visit duration is the same. Now I find that fascinating, and maybe there's ways to dive deeper into that. And as I'm sitting here thinking about this, let's kind of just look at this real quick and see what are the popular landing pages. Okay, so Chick-fil-A franchise opportunity meetings. So as you can see here, the split is not mobile is 823, but with mobile is 626. That's an interesting split. Effective marketing campaigns, so that's primarily if it's no, the majority of the traffic coming to that is via computer. And you can also take that and say, okay, well, if the majority of my visitors are coming to this specific article via a mobile device, how can I leverage that into maybe more mobile sharing? It's so easy with these mobile devices to, press the tweet this or Facebook this or stumble this type buttons. You may be able to integrate those certain things in a customized way for that post to create more of a viral spin of your articles, to create more traffic and more targeted traffic, obviously. So that's great, and pretty much that's pretty much it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video and this walkthrough of how to go through, and little tutorial of how to go through your Google Analytics to get some great insights. And I really hope that you come back to brilliantbusinessadvice.com. That's my website. This is Scott Bradley, going to be signing off, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a good one.